Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody is really doing well. And today, let's welcome each and every one of you to the second month of 2024. Jan was, I would say, good in terms of, we bought dips at around 39,000 for like making almost close to 11% profits on our spot bags. Also, we predicted a dump from $48,600, and we really knew that this dump was coming actually, and hence that was the reason. Despite of the fact that I did not give the short official at 48,600, but that was always on my mind, and a lot of people took a short, and a lot of people did made a good money on that analysis as well. Lot of chart requests so far in the month of so far in the month of January, we have updated almost close to 124 chart requests, and there are still 27 requests pending, which I'm intending to do it by today. So basically, you can just keep on requesting chart if you feel that something has invalidated. Also, if it plays out, or if it don't play out, do give us a feedback. You can post it, those analysis as well, under the suggestions or feedback, or probably under the profit section as to how the analysis played perfectly or did not play it well as well, so that we will definitely going to improvise on that as well. Now, also a new month for and a new beginning for 21M technicals altogether. Congratulations to all the early premium members. I would say you guys are damn early with this community. We are still in a very much pre-phase bull run phase of like a 2025 2026. So basically, guys, whatever we have seen so far, it's nothing, guys. When we are say that we really want to go to 200,000 plus for BTC, I do think that we are very early, and honestly speaking, guys, lot of good things are definitely gonna come for you as well, not from the perspective of the development, but now that we are more focusing on bringing more and more value to you for those who are current subscribers. And definitely we have algos, we have indicator, which are so amazing. I really don't think that we need any sort of an upgrade unless someone has some feedback for an upgrade. Whatever the logics we have built for those indicators, it has been tested so heavily, it has been worked hard upon it, and a lot of efforts have been put by me especially, and the developer, of course. So this is what I have made it every damn thing, all the indicators, all the bots. And the next project that we have took on our hand is our website. Definitely a lot of good things are coming on the website. So guys, you don't get whatever the free things that's going to be there on the website for open source for the public, just don't get yourself demotivated that why we are giving a lot of things for free, but those are just a glimpse of what we're going to give. We are not giving everything to the public. It's just like for testing purpose or for the glimpse, so don't worry about it. Your worth is going to be more and more. It's not going to reduce. So now let's go and focus on the technical analysis of the Bitcoin, guys. Let's start and deep dive into it. So basically, if you look at here on the daily time frame on BTC, guys, first of all, our plan, as I mentioned yesterday as well, on the live stream, it's still same. There's no change at all. As I mentioned, I'm expecting one more push up for like almost close to 44,000, and then probably dump. Unfortunately, did not got that move towards 44,000. But overall, I was expecting a move on the downside, which is what we are getting it. For now, I'm expecting a move towards a 41,500 to 41,300. That's what exactly I'm aiming for long. And probably I'm not just going to wait for 40,100 to 40,500. We are just going to play the bigger scalp over there, just in case we are looking for irregular expanded flat. That's the minimum target we are aiming. So overall, we are likely wanting to play this red count over here, because I do think the volume is pretty much low over here on the 4 hours time frame. On the 12 hours time frame as well, we got a 5-wave move, so definitely I see this is a very bullish structure overall. I really don't intend to see that, or don't want to say that this is like topped out overall and we are just likely going to go on towards a 35,000 or so. No, at this point, because I would have told you all these things only and only when I would have seen ABC sort of a move. But overall, this is not ABC. That's a clear 5 waves in my view. So ladies and gentlemen, overall I think we are bottomed. The 39,000, 38,600 was your bottom. I so feel bad that we had good amount of Bitcoin orders at 38,000 or 30,100, because this was like a big levels on daily, and we so far missed it because we had a good support on the 4 hours time frame at 39,500 with a 12 rockets, and that literally hold, and we literally bounced, flip it over here, and just we went above. Overall guys, I am bullish on Bitcoin. We don't have to be bearish. Dips are for buying. So what we're going to do, the next plan is, there are 3 ways for playing this whole Bitcoin move. So if you just understand from the perspective that, we topped out around 43,850, I think, more or less, we are right now doing ABC. So basically the dips are for buying. My thing is, I would like to buy dip from 41,600 to 41,000. $300, basically a $300 gap. So we're just going to add more and more spots, and we are likely going to also, there is no sound. How come there is no sound? There has to be sound actually. Yeah, no, there has to be sound, my friend, because I can clearly hear myself on my headphone. There is a sound. So basically, I think that we are bullish, and this is 5 waves. Now we are in a corrective wave, 2, or we can say wave B. If we are bullish, this was your wave 1. And if this is corrective wave A, we are doing wave B actually. Whatever we are literally going the next move. We are literally going towards 45,500 and maybe even 46,800 as well. It all depends on how extended move this would be. A minimum target would be this. In case if you are very bullish and if this is wave 1, 2 or something, then definitely guys, we are going to go towards $53,000 as well, which is going to give us 30% move on and upside. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I think dips are for buying. So that's what we need to keep in our mind. BTC is bullish because we got a 5 waves on an upside. So we are going to bid these levels of, as I mentioned, 41,600 to $41,300. The best levels in my view, if you really ask me, I would love to see BTC, bidding clearly under 41,600 is an amazing levels. And if you even go for the liquidity grab over here at 41,374, I think we are likely going to see a big bounce from $41,000 levels. That's a good levels in my view. Overall, 0.5 to 0.618 is the minimum levels where we should be aiming for bounce. The invalidation levels is clearly $38,600. That would be invalidation levels. The minimum target we are anticipating for a Bitcoin is, as I mentioned, if this is A, B, and C, C is likely going to around 46,000. And as you know, we also mentioned that we have a 786 Fibonacci levels on a hard time frame. That 786 Fibonacci levels normally we bounce for a bigger wave B and make everyone so damn bullish, wrecked them, and literally, I would say a dump on their face towards 35. So 47,000, 46,800 is also out of, is also a possibility in my view for like a bigger pump. And then, I think if you are, just probably having an average of 41,400 bucks as well, with our stops this 7%, I think we're going to likely make a very good, almost close to 1.8 R. We're going to DCA. Or we can also have our stop loss like here for making like a big 2R on this swing. What we can do is we can slowly build the spot bags, and spot bags, and then later we can look for building a coin margin long contracts. Overall, my plan is so perfect. I think this is 5 waves looking good. Talking about Ethereum also, I think the Ethereum is slightly tricky over here, honestly, if you ask me. But there are 2 ways. I mean, I don't really see this move as like a 5 wave move now. Why? Because the 5th wave is too extended. I mean, if you look at from the wave 1 and wave 2 perspectives, let's say this is wave 1. And we are talking about wave 2, and so wave 3 normally goes to 161, and which we never went. Wave 3 was very shallow, wave 3. Now if you talk about the wave 5 literally went from, you know, if you talk about this is wave 3 and this is like a wave 4, wave 5 did went not only 1618, but it just went close to 2 Fibonacci levels, or you can say above 1886 as well, which is slightly not a proper calculation for, you know, from the perspective of the wave count. So basically I would say I would not consider this move to be as, you know, a 5-wave move for Ethereum. The Ethereum might be likely doing some sort of a you know, what do you say, ABC move, actually a very nice corrective move. Now this can be a truncated wave 5, you know, this can be like a truncation. So as you can see here, from the wave count perspective, we really wanted that one more push on the downside. So this can be your wave 1 over here, this can be your wave 2, this can be a wave 3, this can be a 4, and this is like a truncated wave 5. So that's how the 5 waves on ETH gets complete over here, like with the truncation. If you remember, you know, we really wanted it to reject the 2273, maybe 12280. We did in fact reject those levels, and I really wanted from here to move down like this, sweep the lows, we take the liquidity over here because the liquidity is still pending, we take a liquidity and then probably we run up like this. But definitely we did not take liquidity, which clearly indicates that the bottom was in, and this in my view some sort of a wave A, wave B, and we got an impulsive move wave C over here going towards 2020 equilibrium. So that's way, you know, if this ABC is some sort of a, you know, bigger, you know, maybe this can be a bigger A, and right now we are doing irregular expanded flat, so maybe this can be a wave B, and then we're likely going to go up for 2600 along with Bitcoin. You know, that can be a bullish case for Ethereum. So if you just say that this is your bottom around 2000, you know, 170, and this is your top over here, where are the levels we will be aiming for? Definitely I'm aiming for 702, 786, and 886. Why? Because I'm not going to aim for golden pocket zone. Golden pocket zone is definitely not the choice, because wave B is always a fuckery wave B. It is likely going to be a slightly deeper pullback, which in my view would be somewhere around 2217 to 2195. So how it can go? It can push up like this a little bit and then further dump towards 2217. We take a liquidity, hold up here. We also have an order block with a bullish engulfing candle over here. So basically from there, we literally look for a bounce towards monthly. And if this is like ABC, the bottom is in, we lightly accumulate here and then look for wave 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we look for a bigger impulsive move towards 2,500 or so. And hence, you know, in my view, 2,200 to 2,195. Now it can even do irregular expanded flat, because overall ETH Bitcoin on the hard time frame is bearish. So what it can do is it can literally do something like this: sweep the lows, do irregular expanded flat, or this is going to be like a triple zigzag A, B, C. That's going to be W, A, B, and C. That's going to be X, and then we're going to have A, B, C to the weekly target of 1933. So that's going to be like a bearish count at this point. But for now, I think that along with Bitcoin holding the levels of, you know, 40,500, and if we do not go there, we hold the $41,000 levels, I'm damn sure Ethereum is likely going to hold as well. So at these levels, I'm more interested in BTC, you know, spots or whatever, scalps, not on ETH, because ETH is slightly weaker than BTC. In case if BTC literally goes for like a bigger pullback, as I mentioned on the Coinbase chart, we literally go to 40,600 for like a bigger pullback, or maybe even $40,000 levels. Then probably, you know, Ethereum is likely going to sweep that lows and literally can go towards 2,120 to 2,130, and that way, you know, we can literally get some downside impulsive move as well. So this is like a worst case scenario I'm talking about, guys. This is literally like a worst case scenario. So that's where, you know, we can also have 113 Fibonacci level, because normally we have seen a hell lot of bounces from there as well. So yeah, 2141 to 2110 is where probably then we are likely going to go for ETH, in case if BTC goes towards 40,500 to $40,000 levels. That's where then we are likely going to say that we're going to have irregular expanded flat. So for Ethereum, we really want to see, you know, we hold the lows and we go max here, and then we chop, and we looking for an upside like this. A worst case scenario for ETH, as I mentioned, irregular expanded flat. We go here, and then we look for a pump up just towards 2,400, 2,440, and then further dump. So that's the two waveform that we have for ETH. Now let's talk about Bitcoin in a more deeper, or I would say monthly basis, because if we just really closed the January, so basically we really need to see what we did. So if you see the Jan month, we did close January overall with a wick on the 2023 highs. Basically January literally closed as a deviation, honestly. So let me just hide this so that what is this line actually? Yeah, that's like a trend line. So okay, perfect. So if you see here, we did close Jan, but it was like a deviation. But the good part about the Jan month that we closed was it closed green. The volume was good. We did close above, as I mentioned, the previous month highs. Now we did close Jan with like a previous month highs, which was around, 44,000. Oh, sorry, previous month open, which was around, 30. Previous month close, which was around 42,325. I mentioned if you do happen to close 42,325, this is going to be like a doji, and that's going to be like indecisive. So far the bulls won over here, as I can say. The bulls literally won. Now if you see, a lot of people were comparing this doji along with here. I really don't think this is a good way of comparing, because the doji was closed in a very bullish way. The bulls were having an upper hand on all these things, and I do think that bulls are still in control at this point. What are the dips we get it? Those dips are for buying, in my view. So ladies and gentlemen, we really don't have to be afraid of what we are watching over here. We can literally go for for a very interesting range, so that's why we're going to have some more levels over here. That's going to be the first levels we're going to add, which is going to be your Jan highs. Okay, we're just going to put like a Jan highs, or we can say that previous month highs. Of course, all these levels you don't need to put it, guys. Just open the price action algo and all the levels are going to be here. Honestly, I'm typing it so that how a lot of people don't know exactly how to draw these levels and everything stuff. So that's what they literally keep on DMing me, that please teach us. So that's what I'm doing right now, so that they'll learn actually how we draw the levels. And once you learn, you just simply don't need to waste your time doing all these things. You just open the price action algo indicator and everything will be there on your screen. So let's say this is your price. Previous month highs, we're going to make it white. Previous month all previous month levels are we going to keep it like white. That's your previous month lows. We're going to have it previous month lows over here, and we're also going to keep it like equilibrium for the over here as well. So we're going to have 0.5 Fibonacci levels, which is going to be around 43,793. So 43,793 is where we're going to keep it, the previous month EQ 43,793. okay, and that's going to be your equilibrium. Now let's also put it like the current monthly opens. The current monthly opened at 42,552. So we're going to have the current monthly open as well, which is going to be fab opens. We're going to of course make it like a fab open, so we know exactly what we are talking about. I'm just going to make it a little bit red over here, and the style as well, going to keep it like red. Okay, so that's going to be our February opens. Now let's talk about the volume profiling. So for that, we just go to the daily time frame. You can also go to the forward as well for more accurate, but overall daily is fine as well. So you just select the fixed range volume profile, go to the first of Jan. This is the candle that we have, a big candle, and from there we're talking about 31st of Jan, that is yesterday, and that's your volume profile. Now a lot of people ask me what is your settings. Over here the rows layout will be number of rows, row size will be 1 2 for volume up down, and value area volume would be 68. You can also extend here to right as well, but overall I'm very much comfortable with this sort of thing actually. Then probably just take the this thing, make it like here. We just put the previous month value area high. That's going to be like a bigger range that we are talking about, and that's going to be our support at 40,500, as I mentioned. A big support that we have around those levels. So that's going to be previous month value area low. And then we would be looking for naked POC, which is around 42,725. As I mentioned yesterday as well, we flipped that 42,739. Amazing. We are likely going to push up, and we literally did push up previous month POC. Now this is really interesting. 42,785. That was 0.2 something, I think. Where exactly the levels are. 42,795.8. Let me just see this properly so that we can have exact pico levels. You don't miss anything. Yeah, the levels are here. 736 something. Previous one POC. So we have all the levels now on our screen, guys. Whatever the levels we need, simply now we go to the lower term time frame over here and see how things how do we expect the things to play out. So basically we have the previous month equilibrium, which is going to be around our resistance. We saw rejected very nicely from the resistance of 43,783, as you can see, rejected twice. Now the support that we have is around 40,500. So basically, if we really want to be bullish, we really want to hold the 40,500. I think what there are two possibilities over here. As I mentioned, we can just probably go up here, reject the value area high, come back down to the POC, wrecked everyone, and then probably go to the previous month lows and then looking down. Now that's the first way of playing as like a bearish ABC. In case we are bullish, we are likely going to go and sweep the highs, the previous month highs, and then probably looking for more and more downside. It's a very simple way of playing the range, and so far we are bullish. Lot of resistance we are having as well above our levels. We have February opens, which is at 42,550. 2024 opens, a lot of resistance, previous month POC as well. So this level is like a strong resistance levels that we have. Basically, and hence, this is like a strong resistance in my view. Unless and until we flip this box or the price gets acceptance inside this box, I think we are definitely not be aiming for any sort of a long exposure. I'm expecting more and more downside, as I mentioned, to my targets for BTC. Now this is like a very interesting. Now you can just simply add more and more like fibs, Elliot wave counts, trend lines, blah blah blah. So you got a trend line breakout as well. Overall, I think we should be aiming for the move towards, as I mentioned, our retracement move towards golden pocket zone, which will be somewhere around 41,300 weekly levels to $41,600 levels. And worst case scenario, we go to the previous month value area low. Overall, this is 5 waves, guys. So I think we are bullish. The dips are for buying. Unless it goes for irregular expanded flat, then there's a different story. But overall, we are good actually. USD DOM, it's a very important thing, guys. We literally got a 1 hour breakout. Overall, I think this move is a little bit of corrective move, but we also took a liquidity on an upside clearly. So the liquidity has been grabbed as well on the 1 hour time frame. Looking to the USD DOM RSI, this is looking good so far. The RSI had a slight bear divergence, but not that big bear divergence. I mean, overall, the momentum is bullish. OBV is also looking good, bullish. Overall, I think the 1 hour time frame is looking good. If you look about the 4 hours time frame, well, again, we did, sweep the lows, and as I mentioned, this can be A, B. This is like a 1, 2, one more push up, 3, 4, 5. So basically, we're likely going to, because overall on the move that we saw on USD DOM, I really don't think this is ABC. This was clearly like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a clean 5 waves. So definitely, of course, the top might be in, the ABC might be done because it took a liquidity, of course. But I do think, the ABC makes more sense over here on the USD DOM. Honestly, if you ask me, in the case that we are likely going to do some sort of a, this is A, and this was your B in my view, let's say. So we are likely going to see the 5 waves, which in my view, which is not yet done, and want to see one more push up towards 6.2%, go to 6.2%, reject, and then we are likely going to see a move on the downside, meaning everything bounces. And we also get a good bounce. Now the bounce can be either, like this. If this is ABC and this is some sort of a bigger A, so the bounces can be like this, or it can literally go for, an extended move on the downside. So either we're going to do, something like this, or make it like irregular expanded flat and then pumpino, something like this. So overall, in my view, ladies and gentlemen, a pump up to the 6.35 to 6.4 is definitely looking for more and more good. But I think one more push up to 6.2% and 6.23% makes more sense, and then we are likely going to see a downside move, which is going to be like a forming of head and shoulder, and then we are likely going to see more and more downside, maybe, or we can see one more push up, or it can simply go and go towards 5.63% from here. That's going to be like it's amazing for us, and we literally going towards $47,000 overall. The USD dominance, if you just look at from this perspective, the daily time frame, if you look at the daily time frame over here on the USD DOM, the price is still at holding a good amount of support, and it's bouncing very nicely. From the price action algo, if you look at, we closed yesterday, if you see here, we did close the candle slightly above the current, honestly, we did close above the, what was the, let me just see the monthly chart. It won't give me the January levels actually. I mean, if it's giving me the January levels. The previous month close, but we did not close as like an engulfing candle or any sort of a thing. We did rejected it nicely. We did not even close above 6.2%, which would have still give a hope of bullishness overall, but still we did manage to close above the 5.63%, which is a little bit sign of a bullishness. So overall, I would say we are not that bullish, we are not that bearish. For USD DOM, it's like a neutral in my view. We can't do anything at this point. So hence, we just focus more on the lower term time frame for the USD dominance and play how we think of. Honestly, looking at the weekly time frame, you just look at here, the RSI is still bullish at this point, and it's trying to run up. In case if things goes north, likely, then RSI can pump up, the price can literally go as well towards, in my view, maybe much higher than what we anticipate. It can even go to 6.8% as well, giving like a big dump on every damn thing. So we just have to wait and watch as to how the weekly RSI is going to unfold, but definitely it's bullish. The daily RSI is also bullish, bouncing from the 50% levels, but there is a resistance here at MA based RSI. So I would love to see the I would definitely love to see that RSI rejects one more time and we start going back down. But if we do flip it, then I will cancel all the limits that I gave for Bitcoin. We're simply going to book our profits as well on the spot backs, and we're gonna let it ride. We're gonna probably look for more downside for USD, more upside for USD DOM towards 6.8% then. So overall, guys, I think USD dominance is slightly tricky actually. Weekly and daily, both RSI are looking fucking bullish, but the price action is not looking that bullish. I don't know why. So it's a very tricky actually thing at this point. We simply need to be honest. If you ask me, we simply need to look for the levels on the USD DOM. So, and also we're going to play the Bitcoin as per the levels. Talking about the total crypto market cap as well, ladies and gentlemen, on the daily time frame, still the total crypto market cap is under the resistance of the range highs, as you can see, which is around the 1.63 trillion. We got a nice bounce. We did reject it. We are now at a support, which is around 1.55. If we lose back these levels on 1.55, I'm expecting it to go towards 1.38 basically, which would also mean that Bitcoin is likely going to not only dump big, but it's likely going to dump towards 37 as well. So hence we need to be very careful as well, just in case if we start losing these levels. We need to be very cautious with V-play. So guys, don't go without me giving you any longs or any new trade for Bitcoin. What are the limits I have given? Just stay with those limits, stick with those limits. We are definitely bullish. I really don't see any sort of a bearishness, but there is a mixed sign over here with USD dominance also looking bullish on high-term time frame, and the total crypto market cap is looking slightly bearish on the high-term time frame. So whenever this sort of condition happens, where USD also dominance also looking bullish and Bitcoin also looking bullish, normally the historical data that I have experienced personally, the USD dominance chart wins actually, which means that USD dominance is going to be winning. That was the historical data says, which means in case if this move is anywhere sort of a move to be some sort of a B, and this is just a wave 1 over here, a 2, 3, 4, 5, we can literally go towards like a double bottom sort of a thing, maybe even a deeper pullback towards 39,000, like literally where we started off this whole pump, we can literally do something like this. So I do think, in case if we try to retest 42,750 to 42,736 levels, I think we need to be hedging our spot bags that we bought, because the profits are profits. And in case if we start flipping it, then we're going to close our hedge. But overall, I think we should be hedging those Bitcoin, spot bags that we bought actually. So this can literally dump like this. If dumps like this, it's going to make everyone bearish, and then we can have a pump up like this to the upside. As I mentioned, we can even go for irregular expanded flat, or you can also see that we have yellow count as well. So the yellow count is also a valid one. If you go for like a deeper pullback towards 786, towards 39,600, or it can even go for 886 as well. Now normally wave B is also can be an irregular expanded flat. It is like a fuckery wave B normally, so it can even do irregular expanded flat. We can literally go towards 38,000, make everyone bearish, and then it can run up towards 45,000. So it's going to be very, very choppy move for a wave B actually. Remember, wave A is done. The wave B is always going to be very choppy. It can be shallow wave B, fake out and pump up towards 46,000, or it can be like a deeper pullback for wave B towards 39,700, 39,000. At this point, right now, what I feel the wave count is, I feel that we're likely going to hold $41,300 levels. So I think if I do see a good reaction 41,300, we are going to move our longs from 40,400, 40,100 to 41,300. In case if we do see a good reaction over there. But if we don't, then we're going to keep our limits there, where our stop loss is perfect, the risk reward is amazing, and we're going to let it ride then. So that's what I'm just looking to hedge my spot bags, guys. Still, even if we do hedge it, our profits are likely going to be somewhere in the sort of 8.5%. At max it was around 11% profits, so still 8.5%, and probably I'm just going to hedge my gains on the Bitcoin spots. So I want to secure my 8.5, not 8.5, even if 6.6% to 7% gains, we can do it actually. So that's what we're going to plan. Talking about alts, Solana is definitely looking good. As I mentioned, I'm aiming for it to go for 86 to maybe even $82, but overall this is where I'm aiming for on Solana. We got an engulfing candle, as I mentioned. We also got a nice move towards 1.102, so like a bearish retest. We took a liquidity over here. We have a nice order block as well, so we're getting some nice $2 bounce. Looking for the 1 hour time frame, I think Solana is likely going to go for a more continuation. We might have a retest of 98, but overall I'm aiming for it to go towards 87, maybe $185. That's where I'm aiming for buy overall. But overall, I think Solana is bullish. This pump is bullish actually. Dips are for buying. So that's all what I have. XRP, guys, yesterday I saw some bad news coming in for XRP. It was hacked of almost close to 130 million, and it dumped yesterday. But overall, the plan is perfectly playing out from the price action perspective as well. As I mentioned, I'm expecting XRP on the daily time frame to dump towards my target of 42 cents. If it gives, I'm not sure if it's going to give us, but in case if Bitcoin also goes as per the plan, XRP is likely going to do something like this. Can even go for 35 cents. Overall, this can be A, B, and C. Overall, what we can see is this is your bottom, and we can likely go for A, B, C, and then we can run up like this for a bigger impulsive move. But for now, XRP is not ready, guys, so don't look at it at this point. Link, I think Link is bullish, and it's so far nicely playing out for my triangle. I longed a Link, as I mentioned on the stream as well, from 13.8 to $14. I was expecting a pump up towards 15.9 to $16. I think we are likely going to see some rejection on Link towards $13 to complete this triangle the way ING did. So 13.1 is where I'm expecting Link to do. But in case if it starts flipping above 16.5, then Link is likely going to go for 18, maybe $19 as well. So I think for now, I think Link is at a very critical level for like a bull bear territory. And I personally expect a rejection. I've also booked my profits on Link overall. This was the analysis that I gave. I do think, it should reject actually. I don't know why it should pump, but it should reject. Let's see. In case if it starts flipping the 16.5, then we are likely going to go towards 18 to maybe $20 on Link. So that's all what the today stream is, guys. Overall, we are bearish on the BTC and Ethereum on the lower term time frame, high term time frame, or I would say mid term time frame. We are bullish. I'm expecting a push up towards A minimum target would be previous month value area high of 45.4, external target 47,000. So that's what be the target. In case if we literally go and lose the 40,500 to $40,000 levels, then we are likely going to go for 39,000, or maybe can we go to sweep the lows, making it irregular, expanded flat. Then our target would change. We won't be aiming for the previous month value area high. Basically, the 2023 highs would be enough for us to give us a retest. The lower time frame, I would like to hedge our spot bags on Bitcoin around 42,700 to 42,750. That's where we are aiming for hedge. INJ, INJ is INJ. I think INJ is pretty much doing the way we really wanted to play. INJ, I think we are likely going to. This is like ABC, so I think INJ is likely going to see a small push towards 31.7, or worst case scenario, it can go to $30 as well. But overall, we are bullish in a triangle accumulation. The volume is also going down. If you look at the daily time frame as well, this is like a perfect triangle in my view. Overall, the dip chart for buying for INJ, you can just simply buy the spots. Now the bottom might be in overall, but I really don't feel that the bottom is in. This can be a pan, and normally why would it do a pan? And we are not in a wave 4 actually. So I think, you know, this is like ABC. If the bottom is in, if we stay above 30.3, we can max go towards, you know, 31.7 or so. But now I expect, because we have an engulfing candle on the daily, so we are likely going to see some push up towards 35.1, and then maybe one more push down towards 31.7. Worst case scenario, if BTC goes to 39,000, INJ is likely going to go to the 29.3, and you know, it can even go for irregular expanded flat. Basically, this move can be A, B, and we're likely going to see then a wave C towards $25, $24, and then we run up towards $50+. So overall, I think anything under $30 is a buy for INJ. $25 to $30 is the accumulation zone. Honestly, if you ask me, for INJ, invalidation is $25. We really don't want to see the price closing back under 25. Then it will be like simply a big deviation. The top is in ABC. This move was, and we likely, you know, as I mentioned, 2 plans. This can be a wave 1 top, bull run wave 1 top, and we're likely going to see $14 to $12 for a wave 2. Then that's where we're going to see big buys, and then we're likely going to push up. So this can be a wave 1. I have already posted my hard and time frame INJ plans under the altcoin section. You can check it yourself. But overall, I think that INJ is bullish. If Bitcoin is holding $40,000 levels, INJ is definitely going to hold the 31.6, and I think we are going to run back up. But if BTC loses 40,500, INJ is going to go towards you know, anywhere under $30. It can go anywhere from 29.5 to 25.9. That's where the dip chart would be for buying. The target still is $52 for me, and maybe even up much higher. But this is like a bigger, you know, wave 4 in my view for INJ. Overall, in the lower term time frame, I think we should be staying away for now. We need I'm expecting, you know, more down on the INJ towards 31.6 to maybe even, worst case scenario, as I mentioned, can be anywhere under 29.5 to 25.9. So at this point, I would refrain from buying INJ at this point. So we are going to hedge. If you want to sell, you can sell as well. I'm going to hedge, meaning I'm going to transfer my spot BTC to the coin margin contracts, or you can say the coin USDT futures on Binance or on Bybit, and then you can short only 1x leverage or whatever we have it, so that only 1x leverage. So that's like a hedge, a perfect hedge. You have it. So your profits are locked in at 42,736. Okay, a 1x hedge. Now that's what we're gonna do. Or what you can do is just let your spot bags be your spot bags. Don't do anything. And what you should do is open 1x leverage, a short position on futures with the same position that you have for BTC. Let's say you have bought 100k worth of BTC, then only have 100k worth of short position on the futures. That way you can hedge. There are 2 ways of hedging it. I'm not selling it because I want to accumulate more and more BTC. Even if it goes to 37,000, we're going to accumulate more. But that way, if we hedge it, we are not going to make any losses. In fact, it's going to add more into our profits. So basically, I think hedging is the way we should be playing it, unless we are going back into the bear market, honestly. So hedge is the most appropriate way. I have done it in 2020 the same way. So I want to do it now as well in 2024. Honestly, I'm assuming honestly that we are in the bull market and we are not going to see the USD dominance pumping back to take the equal highs. That's what not, that's something I'm not assuming, or basically I don't have that plan even, that why the fucking USD dominance basically is going to take this highs. There are three equal highs. Normally we have seen from the price action perspective that when there are equal highs, this is like a magnet. The price normally goes and sweep those highs. It's like a liquidity it attracts. Now in case if we even if we go up here and even if we run up like this, like turbo we are going it, which would mean that BTC is likely going to go to then probably sweeping the 15.5k and something like this, and then probably going to go for another run up like this. But that's going to be like a worst case scenario. I honestly don't think why it would do that at this point, but you never know. I mean, the USD dominance is like, I don't know if any, because you see if ETF is already approved. We already got ABC move. Now that's like a worst case scenario. We have equal highs, hell lot of liquidity. Now if we just have to inverse the chart as well, if you inverse the chart, you see there is a liquidity here, there is a liquidity here, there is a liquidity here. There are three amount of liquidity that we have on the USD DOM. So we are literally at a strong resistance, like testing this resistance for the first time in like losing it for on I would say 2021 June and even May 2022. So basically it's like testing it for like Jan 2024, almost after almost 1.5 year later. So it's, in my view, of course, this was the levels where we need to be rejecting, and that's what we did. Now we got a impulsive move like this, so definitely we are also breaking that impulsive trend. If you see, that's like a clear trend breakdown from the 3 days chart. If you see here, a clear trend line breakdown. So this was like your highs, and if you just look at from this perspective, we literally got the trend breakdown from these levels, a perfect trend breakdown, because this is what the trend line was. We also got a bearish retest and then we started breaking down. Overall, I see that the weekly is a very mixed feeling I have. I mean, honestly, I really don't intend to tell you guys that this is like a deviation. Hey, look, this is like a deviation on the highs. So fucking this is a deviation, and we are likely going to go for a deviation now on the downside, and then we're forming a very big bullish checkmate, and then we are likely going towards something like this. I mean, I really don't want to say that honestly, but this is going to be the worst case scenario, something to keep in mind in my view, just in case it's the theory of my BlackRock ETF approval that they did, and the theory of the what do you say, the artificial supply creation for Bitcoin, everything works out, and also the CBDC comes out, US election is there. So definitely as we are facing a US election, where did we go, as we are having a US election, as you can see the price action over here from the SPX as well. SPX did give us a good bounce over here, but the price is way fucking overextended in my view. Now this can only mean one thing, in my view. This can be A, B, this is 1, 2, 3. So if this is wave 3 over here, definitely we need to see the wave 4, and the wave 4 is likely going to be somewhere to the tune of 0.5 Fibonacci levels, which is going to be around $4,500. So basically this can be wave 1, 2. This is like a wave 3. We are likely going to see the wave 4, which is going to be the way gold did actually dump up like this towards 4,500, took the liquidity over here, and then we look for another bounce up towards 4,800, maybe even a run up and make new highs like this. But overall, this retest, it can even go towards 4,400 as well. But overall, I see that SPX is very likely that it's topped out, and we are going to see some bloodbath in probably this month, or maybe in February, March. We're going to see some bloodbath, and the market is going to recover, running back up towards $5,100. This is the perfect chart that you can see on the gold as well. Look at the daily time frame for the gold. This is like a perfect chart, as you can see as well on the gold. I mean, what we did, we literally did like a very similar sort of a thing we did for gold. This was the highs. Let's say this was the highs over here. We did in fact A1, 2, or maybe this is A, B, and this can be C1. Now we got a move on the downside A, B, C, and we got a nice impulsive move on gold A1, 2. This is like a wave 3 over here. this is like a way for a sharp correction to 0.5 Fibonacci level from the lows. So hence, the 0.5 Fibonacci levels makes very, very interesting for SPX. In my view, 4,520 is the levels where I'm aiming for SPX to go down in coming days. In my view, honestly, if you are really ask me, this is the perfect making sense for SPX. We go there, and then we form a diagonal, we make like a double top, go towards 5,000, and the market then probably going to crash bigger, because that's going to be your irregular expanded flat A, B, and we likely then probably going towards 3,700, and that bigger crash might literally come during the election, or basically few months back before an election, July or June, maybe somewhere around these levels. But overall, because that's where the shits are going to hit the fan, in my view, and that's what we might do actually. That's also going to reset this whole debt thing and maybe a lot of things. So overall, I think this is the plan for SPX. So we just need to be slightly cautious with Bitcoin as well. Looking at the dollar index, ladies and gentlemen, dollar index overall on the daily time frame, as you can see, we are bullish. The A is done, B is done, and I'm expecting dollar index to pump up towards the target. As I mentioned, I'm aiming for it to go towards 109, 108, or maybe let's say this is just wave A over here. Definitely we're likely going to see a pullback towards wave 106, and then probably going towards one more down, or we can do irregular expanded flat. We run up like this, A, B, C, come back down, and then do something like this. So basically the SPX dumps on this, gold dumps on this, SPX makes new highs over here on this, and that's why the market is crashing. That's gonna be a very fucking interesting thing actually. So that's all what we have for today, guys, for the stream. I hope you really love the content. Guys, if you really want to upgrade yourself to the Pro Premium role, do let me know. Also, if you would like to help us with any sort of a content we want to put on our website, do let me know, guys. Anything you would like to contribute, of course, we're going to of course, your contribution is going to be very, very meaningful. So whatever the suggestions or whatever you feel you want to give for our website, do let us know, guys. Have a nice day and take care.